Yeah, I think that's what Oakland Digital does, right? I mean, I think part of it is, I always tell communities, and especially here, it's not enough to be down for the community that you think you teach or you work at Laney College, right? Being down for the community is a deep commitment to improving the service, to improving our instruction, to constantly improving. Hi, my name is Tammeil Gilkerson, and I'm excited to be honored at Oakland Digital's 2018 Inspiration Awards. I grew up in Hayward, California. I'm one of 7 children, and 5 of us are adopted. So I grew up in a very multi-ethnic, multicultural home, had a really interesting upbringing and sort of sense of community. I'm the first in my family to go to college. Came from a fairly low income family too, and so really they have taught me generosity of spirit, you know, really recognize the legacy of getting the opportunity to go to college and how important that was. So I really see education as the answer to providing solutions to real problems and real issues that are going on in our communities now. It's the real sort of leveling of the playing field in a lot of ways too. It doesn't put aside institutional racism that's been prevalent in our educational system. So I recognize there's an uphill battle to do in terms of getting equity of outcomes for our communities. But I do think that it's a light bulb. Laney just recently received a grant, and one of the interesting things is that we're really going to explore the fact that we have a large number of undocumented and mixed status students in our community. We know that there are far more than we even scratch the surface of knowing that they're here for many reasons, right? Fear, just lack of access to resources. But we actually have to have the humility as an institution to really take the time to learn the experiences of undocumented mixed status students and their families. Then we can better help them reach their goals and not make assumptions about what it is that we know. So before we start saying, oh, these are the services we're gonna offer, this is what we're gonna do. How do we navigate these sort of things where you're trying to recognize the students who's in front of you and how that might impact their approach and their feelings about learning? And how do you create safe space within classrooms and in the way we offer services to be thinking about that? So we've been doing a lot of thoughtful conversations, I think, on campus amongst faculty and staff too, about how they feel about being included on campus, all the way to our student population. Ideas are happening and real world solutions are happening right now, and we're teaching it in the classroom. We're allowing students to do it hands-on. We do it in our digital design area as well. Laney College has been really blessed by the partnership with Oakland Digital and the opportunity to give over 400 students access to this great design challenge to get to feature their work on billboards, bus stops, and on the back of tail ends across the city. And what it is a point of pride, right? It's their own expression of who they are, how they see our community. Really just allows students to find their voice in a way that's authentic to them. The BRIDGEGOOD Year 3 celebration was phenomenal. We're doing R&D on our campus all the time, making solutions. Here is a group of students who are actively, right, serving in the community, have talent that is like ridiculous, right? And we're articulating sort of how this actually impacts the community in a large scale way, right? It's not just an equity issue, it's not just a student voice issue, it's talent meets sort of the opportunity. And I think oftentimes community college students in particular get underlooked, and communities of color get underlooked, and we don't get access to opportunities. And really that's sort of why I believe so strongly in education, right? So having access to community college student voices is really, really imperative for moving us forward to really designing sort of the future we want for our communities. And we want people to talk. So those kind of opportunities give us time to have conversation, and those difficult conversations. Why can't we have representation like this? How should we be saying things? What do we stand for? Oakland inspires me in so many ways. The diversity, the culture, the resilience, the grit. This is a city of possibility. I have seen students who have experienced the unthinkable, and they are here getting their degrees, moving on, wanting to contribute to the community, wanting to do things, and who have so much capacity and so much to give. Incredibly inspired by that. I feel like what I experience with students is the fact that they have multiple responsibilities in addition to going to school, right? They're caring for their families, they're helping out with something, they're having to work to pay for different things, so they can only go part-time. My advice to students who feel like they are lost and can't make it is that there is something intrinsic and beautiful inside each and every one of us, that the time invested in what seems like a selfish endeavor sometimes into themselves is really one that will pay dividends, not only for themselves, but for their families and for their communities.